folks, Mike Misano here, and welcome to the Friday night feed, Supercars Americas, week 9. We're back at Misano. It's our first week here, ran here last night, and sucked. Just had no real confidence in the car, and no real pace. Started in the back and never really went anywhere. So for tonight, I took the shock change out of the car that I made last night because I realized it. I even realized in like my post race that it was a stupid adjustment. What I have done is we've lowered the roll centers in the car to hopefully get some stability out of it. Maybe just bring up the confidence level, and I'll be able to drive it a little bit better. It's been a little bit quicker in practice. I don't know, maybe a half a second, but there's guys that are still like 3-4 seconds a lap ahead of me, so we'll see what happens. We got 18 cars here tonight, kind of a small field. I'm car number 14, so I don't know. Well, maybe we can make something happen. Top 5, good God. No, top 10, I think would just be a dream, but we'll see. Before I commit to that, we'll see where we qualify. Back row, baby. I spun on my first lap. Remember what I was saying before about how I was hoping I made the car more stable? Yeah, it didn't work. So, yeah, just kind of tried to put in a lap for the second one, and that's what I got, a 44.6 to a 44 flat in front of me. Good grief. Just going for a finish. Just want to finish. Punch in my 23 laps, throw the thing on the trailer, go home.
You'll have to stop for more fuel before the race is over. Half the field is on the grid. Five cars left to grid. Still waiting on 2 cars to grid. Waiting on the final car to grid. Green, green, green. Right side. Stay on the left. Stay on the left. Keep to the left. Clear. Car right. Keep to the left. Still there. Clear. on your left. Still there, hold your line. Clear on the left. More laps.
Oh, the Kraken! Oh, the jump in the pit.
Pit box in 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Well, I'm doing better than I did last night. I still suck, but I am doing better than I did last night. Hanging on by my fingernails, trying to get whatever position I can. We'll see if I can keep it up.
Move it, move it. The leader's pitting now. Right side. Still there. Clear. Car right. Clear. Great job, 10 to go. leaders pitting now.
Let's get him first.
Go left.
Thank you.
5 laps to go. You have about 5 laps of fuel left. Leaders at the start-finish line. Now, 2 more, let's go. have about 2 laps of fuel left. White flag, stay smooth. You have about 1 lap of fuel left. Alright, there's the checkered flag. Bring it back to the pits, we're going.
Good fun, Watto. Yeah, cheers. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, you too, Ryan. That was good fun. Good nobody died.
Yeah, it's alright. No, I'm glad we didn't really lose any positions or anything. Just get going on that stuff, mate. Almost looks like you're ready for split B. Nah, man, not yet. Not yet.
Pit box in 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
That didn't totally suck. I'll tell you what, I'm a lot happier with the way the car drove compared to last night. So something, and I knew this going into the race, something that I identified tonight that I'm not doing at this track is every single corner entry and exit for that matter at this track has the surface of the track, the painted line, a curb, and then green painted asphalt. And what I see most guys doing is, especially on entry, is you'll go wide and you'll straddle the car over the curbing. So you got once the inside of the car is still on the track, the outside of the car is on the green paint, and you'll cross over the curbing to actually tip the car into the corner. My car, for whatever reason, really struggles to do that. I did it. I kind of gave up on it later in the race, but in the early stages, I was trying to do it, and especially on what is it? It's like that first real hard right-hander, right-hand kind of hairpin turn. I know that's one corner where it's real critical to do that on, and this car just really struggles to do that. It's like I'll tip the car in and it'll start to rotate, and as soon as it hits the curb, it stops, and then it takes off again. It's like it's got to like roll over like a detent, which is actually kind of the way that the track is. It's got to like roll over the bump in the track before it'll actually tip in, and it upsets the car so much. That's actually how I spun in qualifying. Was on the what would it be that first long, it's hard to describe anything at this track because it's such a weird shape. There's no like real front or back or long straightaways or anything. That first long run that you get through the infield that ends in a left-hand turn that's got a little bit of a bank to it. And of course, I know all the corners have numbers, but they're all in Italian, and I don't know this place that well. That's what happened. Is you straddle the curbing to the right, and then I tried to tip the car over that curbing, and then into the corner, and it just got so upset that it lost the rear end. I did that. I almost did that again. I think 2 laps after the pit stop. I came into that corner and tried to get it to roll over that curbing, and it did the exact same thing. And at the time, I was thinking, it's like, first of all, don't let this thing go around. Second of all, well, if there are any, hopes of, conserving tires for the long run, those just went right out the window. Yeah, there's a bunch of places on this track where I feel like if you really want to make good time, you need to do that, and my car just doesn't. It's really uncomfortable. I don't know if I feel like it's a car thing. It might be a driver thing. I'm not really sure what I, as a driver, could do differently to make that work better. But I think that's where I'm giving up most of my time on this track, is that if I want to get any kind of consistency out of it, I can't run the car all the way up and over that curbing. I gotta stay to the end. I gotta stay on the track. Whereas a lot of other guys are going wide and then cutting across, and I just can't do that reliably. So, yeah. So how did we do overall? We had car number 14. We started 17th. We finished 13th. You know what? That's a pretty damn good day. It took 6 attempts, but I finally had a decent race at a new track this season. I think I'll take it. Top 10 would have been a miracle goal, considering where I started. But yeah, I don't know. I was even thinking after qualifying, it's like, even 15th would be a pretty decent day. 15th would be a pretty good day, actually. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to jinx myself. But yeah, to get 13th, I was actually surprised I got 13th. I knew in like the last few laps, I knew I was running in 13th or in 14th, because I thought I had Ross like 8 seconds behind me. It's like, well, if I really screw this up, I could still get a top 15 out of it and be happy-ish. And then, yeah, as we went across the line, I looked out and I was in 13th. So I don't know where I made up a position. If somebody pitted late or what happened there, I don't know. I wasn't really looking at the relative that close when we were going down the main straight here. If somebody pitted late, or I don't know if somebody wrecked, or I saw in those last couple of laps, there were a couple of corners that I came up on, and there were fresh skid marks that made no sense, just all different directions. So yeah, somebody must have had a problem towards the end there and cost themselves a position. I don't know who it could have been, because Ross and Robert were fighting each other behind me. Was Andrew Ritchie following us for most of the race? I don't know. Maybe it was him. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take it. Hopefully next week it'll be back to normal and I'll be fighting for mid-pack positions. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Take it easy and have a good one. I'll see you next time.